Hello everyone, welcome back to UPSC Mains PYQ series, and today we shall be discussing next question of geography from 2025 question paper. So let's start. Our question is, how can artificial intelligence and drones be effectively used along with GIS and RS techniques in locational and aerial planning? So, before answering this question, we must be aware about the locational and aerial planning concept, and after that, all the types of technologies which have been asked in the question. So, let's start with locational and aerial planning. See, locational planning is related to choosing a particular site. That is, locational analysis is basically site analysis. And what is the objective of site analysis? Objectives can be many. The objective can be increasing the profit or minimizing the cost, or setting up infrastructure. Objective can be anything, but basically it deals with the analysis of particular site. Okay, so the objective is narrow here. On the other hand, aerial planning works on broad objective. That is, aerial planning will focus on social, economic as well as environmental factors. So basically, it is related to regional planning. Okay, so this is the concept. So this is narrow in its approach and it is broad in its approach. Okay, now let's discuss a brief background of locational and spatial analysis. See, before 1950s, it was considered that geography must be studied as a regional subject. Geography must be studied as a regional science. What do I mean by regional science? In regional science, we consider that every area is unique in its aspects. Why I am saying unique? Also, under this approach, you cannot say that all the countries which are in the tropical regions, all the countries will have same human and physical features. You cannot say that, because this approach is saying that every area has some or the other unique characteristics from other areas. Okay, so this was the approach till 1950s. After that, in 1960s, comes a approach that is called quantitative revolution. And under this revolution, all the geographers said that the previous approach, which was the regional approach, it is non-scientific in nature. It was non-scientific in nature and it is descriptive in nature. So geographers thought that we must try to make geography as a science. So there must be laws in geography. There must be generalizations in geography. So that if you make law for a particular phenomena, that law must be applicable for all the countries world over. So this was the approach of quantitative revolution. But over a period of time, it was thought that this approach is neglecting the human aspects, because this approach was using all the mathematical tools, all the statistical tools, and there was no place for human emotions or human aspects. So eventually, again started an era where regional approach again got significance. Okay. So this was a brief background of this. And why regional approach became important? Because various issues like environmental degradation, like chaos in the society, like pollution, like economic inequalities, all these things were increasing. And quantitative revolution was not able to deal with all these issues because human aspects were not included in the geographical studies. Okay, so this was a brief background. Now, let's discuss about the technologies which is asked in the question. So here the question is asking to integrate AI plus drone technology with geographical information system and remote sensing technology. Okay, so first of all, let's discuss about these technologies. See, in remote sensing system, its main objective is to collect data. But this data is collected being away from the earth. That's why the name remote. So this data is collected based on the sensors, which can be active or passive. So remote sensing technology collects data of all the features on the earth's surface. So these features can be related to humans also. It can be related to the physical features also. So data, for example, related to crop assessment. Data can be related to health of soil. Data can be related to urban mapping, etc. So basically, it collects data based on the sensors. Those can be active or passive, being away from the earth. So this is the main purpose of remote sensing satellites. Now, India uses, basically ISRO uses 4 types of remote sensing satellites, that is resource, VSAT, Cartosat and OceanSat. So basically these all satellites help to provide data related to various aspects on the earth's surface, whether they can be climate, they can be related to agriculture, they can be related to human settlements, they can be related to weather conditions, ocean currents, these all things. Now coming to geographical information system. So here in geographical information system, all the data is collected, and the source of data collection can be remote sensing also. It can be related to other field surveys also. So all these data are collected, and layer by layer information is built. Why I am saying layer by layer? For example, if you want a comprehensive study of a particular area, then one area will represent vegetation, one area will represent human settlements, one area can maybe represent the density of rivers, one area can represent the density of roads, one area can represent the crops which are suitable for those areas. And GIS system will combine all these aspects and will give a detailed report that this is the situation of a particular area, and now you have to plan projects because based on these situations, right? So basically GIS is analytical tool which provides a comprehensive overview of a particular area. Okay, so we understood remote sensing, we understood GIS. Now coming to the drone technology. So basically drones can also collect information related to various aspects on the earth's surface. So it can be related to crops, it can be related to rural and urban mapping, it can be related to the resource mapping. Okay, it can be related to pest management, all these things. And what artificial intelligence will do? It will build an algorithm based on which meaningful data can be integrated into geographical information system, and we can get a comprehensive picture. Okay, so now what is the conclusion of our discussion? Conclusion is the drone surveys, the remote sensing satellite systems, they provide data which is then filtered by artificial intelligence based on the algorithms, and these all things is analyzed by the Geographical Information System, which provides a comprehensive overview of any area. So this is the use of these 4 technologies. Okay, now let's discuss what was asked, that all these technologies we understood. Now we have to write their role in locational and aerial planning. So see, first of all, why we understood the difference between these two things? Because you have to write it separately. You have to write their roles in locational planning also, then you have to write their roles in aerial planning. Okay, so see, locational planning is very narrow. It is related to sites, it is site specific, and it is related to region specific, means overall development. Okay, so now I will divide our answer. So here we will write about the locational applications, and here we will write about the aerial applications, aerial planning. So in locational planning, I am explaining with an example. For example, you can take the example of river interlinkage system. For example, this is a dam. So for a dam, you will collect data about its discharge and discharge in summer, in winter, and in rainy season. And based on the data of discharge, so data you can collect through drones, the data you can collect through remote sensing technology, and based on data of these all these seasons, you can decide that whether there is enough water to divert to the other river or not. Okay, so based on this, we can decide that whether we have to provide river interlinkage system or not. So the recent project, that is Ken-Betwa river interlinkage system, will be using same type of analysis, that whether there is enough water to divert to other river or not. Okay, second example we can use about the type of infrastructure which needs to be created. So see, under locational analysis, various mathematical tools are used. So we will collect, for example, infrastructure, we will collect information about the population density of any area. We will collect information about the needs of population. We will collect information about population density in an area at particular point of time. So based on this, we can decide various infrastructures, like how many bus stops are needed in particular area, like how many charging stations are needed in particular area. If many houses have electrical vehicles, so based on these data, you can plan for a particular site. How many shopping malls are needed in a particular area? So these are the examples of locational analysis. Now coming to aerial planning. So see, aerial planning, I am taking example of desert regions. So desert, first I am taking the example of Thar desert. Then second I will be taking example of cold desert, that is regions of Spiti Valley. So see, how all these technologies will work here, I will explain. See, as we know that GIS works on the layered system, right? So here, our main objective here is to find out what type of programs should be started in these type of regions. For this, I need data of human and physical features. So first, I will collect data about the water resources. This is first layer. Second layer, I will collect data about the vegetation there. Third layer, I will collect data about the population density. Fourth layer, I will collect data about the soil health. Fifth layer, I will collect data maybe about the rivers. Okay, then I will combine all this data and a comprehensive report will be generated. That the water scarcity is there. Okay, population density is very low. Employment opportunities are very low because agriculture is not very sustainable here. Maybe this kind of conclusion I can draw. Okay, so based on this, I can start various projects. For example, Indira Gandhi Command Program was the result of this analysis only. And recently, Eastern Rajasthan Canal Project is under work. So, these all projects use data from these type of technologies only. So, based on all these things, we can plan for a particular area that what new projects have to be started. If no, I can add one more data about the migration, that whether in particular area, migration of youth is increasing. So, you can plan the employment opportunities also in these areas. Okay, so I think you got this point, that you first of all you have to understand difference between both. Then you have to combine all the four technologies. Then you have to explain that how these four technologies will be helpful in all these areas. Okay, so I think I have explained the question. Now please pause the video, write your answer for 7 minutes. Then we shall be discussing the complete answer. Okay, so let's start. So basically, I think we have discussed all these things. That first, data acquisition will be done. Okay, then AI algorithms will be used, and finally, GIS information system will be used as central platform for analysis and visualization of data. Okay. Now, coming to the applications. So see, in locational planning, we have already, the primary factor here is the site selection. So site selection can be for anything, right? Based on data, you can decide at what location you need public healthcare systems, you need schools, you need transportation. Also, at what places you need charging stations and these all things. So it is site specific only. Coming to the aerial planning, so we have already discussed, based on the aerial planning, you can get information about the environmental status, whether the water resources are there or not, whether we have to plan any project or not. Okay, what is the status of agriculture? If water intensive crops can't be grown, so what type of crops can be grown in those areas? And we can create the land zone mapping also. For example, this is river. And this is zone 1, this is zone 2. So, in zone 1, you cannot allow any settlement or agriculture. So, how you will decide? You will decide based on the data, based on the analysis of those technologies. Okay. So, I think this is all for this question, and accordingly, you can introduce your answer and you can provide the conclusion. That for sustainable development, we have to integrate the technologies in our aerial planning and region. Okay, so that's it for this answer. Thank you.